Hey, yo, what up? It's me. I'm back, and I'm late. Yes, I know. If there were such a thing as a set schedule, I would have posted last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know, honestly, at this point. It doesn't matter, because there is no set schedule. I've clarified this. However, I did want to make sure that this video gets done in January, because I do have somewhat of a loose schedule. I want to get 2 videos done every month, mostly thematic. I think I started off thematic. I don't remember at this point, honestly. But this month's theme was Paradox Pokemon. So go watch the other one so I don't have to do the same intro to the art part again, talking about the games and whatever, and then come back and watch this one. Or, hear me out, watch both videos at the same time and create your own time paradox, because we're doing Paradox Pokemon. Now, my excuses for being late with this video and it not being a Monday, which is when I would normally post, but again, no normal schedule, it doesn't exist, is because I've been sick. My sister's giving birth to her 3rd kid, so I'm kind of left at the house with my brother to do a lot of chores while my parents are over there helping her with that. And I just got really tired with the first couple weeks of school. I mentioned how I genuinely do not enjoy being like in front of the camera and stuff. I am doing these videos because I like sharing art, and this is the whole point of this channel now, is to share my art. But I had to do another video for another class, and it took me, not kidding, 2 full days of just trying over and over again to make a 3-minute introductory video to myself. Talking to a camera is difficult without a script. Even with the script, it sucked with the script. In fact, this video is going to be no script because I'm trying to rush this video out. So get ready for chaos. It's going to be fast-paced, I hope, and hopefully I'll take it in one go because I do not want to edit so much. So, without further ado, my good excuses have been given. Yell at me in the comments if you so desire. It will boost the interaction with this video. I don't know words anymore. So yes, let's jump into it. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. They were definitely games, and I'm not going to do the same intro I did in the last video. Go watch the Future Paradox video. It's good, and I talked a lot about the games. So pretend I said everything I said then, and we're going to continue off from there. In this video, we're doing past Paradox Pokemon, but not just any past Paradox Pokemon, but past Paradox mythical Pokemon. As we all know, Paradox mythicals break the whole game. In Violet, you have future paradoxes, right? You have the future Swords of Justice. They're just robots. That could be a real possibility. However, most of the past Paradox Pokemon in general are just difficult to wrap our heads around, because Jigglypuff, for example, evolves into Wigglytuff. However, a past Paradox Jigglypuff, it's Screamtail. Like, that, how does that work? I do not know. And also, you have the past Paradox Legendary Beasts. Those are the ones that people claim break the lore. In canon games, 3 mysterious Pokemon die in a fire and are revived by Ho-Oh and granted these forms to be the whatever. So how, in the world, can there be dinosaur versions? How can there be dinosaur versions of any of the Pokemons? It's weird and annoying. There is a theory that Terapagos isn't pulling Pokemon or looking into the past of this timeline, but rather into the past of an entirely different timeline, which in technical terms could be an entire separate universe. Who knows? I'm no physicist. I don't care either. I'm just bringing up this theory because it will help for these designs that I made make a little bit more sense. That's right. These are indeed past Paradox Legendary Guardians. And if you can't read the title or whatever the thumbnail said, it's the Link Imps. Yes, Imps, because Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf are based on a spirit or sprite, whatever you want. And then Uxie is a pixie, and then Azelf is, well, an elf. So that leaves an imp. Yes, Impadip exists, but that's not what we're here for. So keep in mind while we go through this video, there is some lore to it because it's a separate timeline, that there are separate timelines. Cool, let's get to the voiceover.
Alright, I'm gonna try to speedrun these 3 in a row because less editing for me. Yippee, I do not want to be up all night. Starting off with the Uxie paradox, the key differences are that it has mandible-looking horns and it's green. Because this trio is from an alternate timeline, I wanted them to be different colors, so made them the secondary colors, not the main trio. And the eyes are wide open, like there's no thoughts behind them. Oh, sorry. Paradox Azelf is my favorite. I made the head and ear things bigger to resemble dinosaur head plate things. I don't know what a lot of these things are. Its eyes tend to be shut because this poor little guy is just so scared of everything. I then added small horns near the gem so that when you look at it head on, it looks like a cute purple triceratops. It's so adorable. And finally, Paradox Mesprit. This one is the leader of the pack and has the worst attitude. The hair tendril things, I don't know, are dyed a vibrant orange, which is just neon brown. It's so emo and so unique. Kinda reminds me of Medusa or something. Anyway, let's introduce this one before that glare ends my life. First up in this trio is the dark type Paradox Mesprit, Mute Menace. Those struck by this Pokemon's tails are said to fall into an uncontrollable rage, attacking everything around them. Mute Menace mercilessly unleashed powerful jabs at its foe. Its piercing glare was devoid of all emotion during combat. Myths say that after a harsh battle with Arceus, the original one bestowed to this Pokemon a heart. It would then be known as the Imp of Verity. Following its leader's every order is the bug-type Paradox Uxie, Tearing Blade. Those who look into this Pokemon's eyes are believed to completely dissociate, losing all motor functions. Tearing Blade mindlessly followed orders with a vacant stare. It senselessly attacked its opponent with a flurry of slices. Tales shared that after a vicious fight with Arceus, the Great Sinnoh imparted to this Pokemon prudence. It would then be known as the Imp of Acuity. Too scared to disobey its leader is the Dragon-type Paradox Azelf, 𝒁𒐞ᒊ. Those seen as threats by this Pokemon are rumored to spiral in fear, running from all in terror. 𝒁�ᒊ desperately blocked and deflected attacks with panic in its eyes. It bashed away at its adversary in trepidation. Fables tell that after an intimidating fray with Arceus, the almighty Sinnoh endowed this Pokemon with courage. It would then be known as the Imp of Valor.
Awesome. That was kind of fun. Not gonna lie, recording that took like 10 minutes. Good job, me. And now we get to do some lore, because I am that kind of person who likes lore. Specifically with these Pokemon, my friend Epitaph, hi buddy, I'm calling you out again because it's funny. He's the one who also gave me the idea for that thing. He gave me the idea for these 3 lovely little imps, and I decided to come up with lore for them. Like, he gave me the basic ideas, their typings and whatever, and all the stats, so blame him for how overpowered they are. But I get to write a story, which I enjoy doing too much. I mean, have you seen my original Fakemon line? I like to put thought into things. Oh yeah, go watch it. So buckle up, I'm very bad at telling stories, but here we go. Every timeline begins the same, with Arceus hatching from an egg. I think that's how the story goes, I don't remember. We're speedrunning. And once Arceus is there, Arceus creates Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina. So Giratina, being a bad little devilish boy, decides to go against Papa and gets banished into the Distortion world. As Giratina passes through the rift of dimensional who knows what not, he creates his imps, Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie. As the rift closes, the 3 imps are left facing Arceus in a battle. After of course losing against Arceus because, well, he's God, Arceus gives them a heart, a mind, and courage. Yes, that is indeed an obvious Wizard of Oz reference that I thought actually worked very well for when I'm going with this whole shenanigans. With these 3 gifts, the imps become the Lake Imps, or the new Lake Trio of this timeline. And end story time. Of course, The Wizard of Oz is not my only reference. There's a few other things that I would like to point out in their designs or in whatever they do. You know, we'll start with Mesprit. Earlier, I said it resembles Medusa. That's right, it's Year of the Snake, and I'm somehow making it by making this thing a snake. To be fair, these things were designed last year, months ago. Now, Azelf, as mentioned, is a little Triceratops. He's adorable and should have been Ghost type because, if you hadn't noticed, Dark type, Bug type, and Dragon, not Ghost. These three were originally going to have the types that are strong against Psychic types, you know, the normal Lake Guardian types. But in all honesty, Dragon is adorable and should be feared. Like, it's a scary dragon, but the scary dragon is actually the scaredy cat, which is so adorable. Oh, he's so cute. Anyway, and this is one of the only names I do have to explain, because what the heck is a scuttle and why is it a wall? Well, for starters, scuttling is that tiny little step run that people do, especially like in cartoons when they're running away, and a wall because it's a very defensive Pokemon. That's its whole gimmick. It's defensive, just walls, and then it uses its tails to push and swat or whatever. It uses the big flat side of its tail. That's how that one works. Mesprit is pointy and stabby, stab. And then we have Uxie. It's a bug. Like the mandible things, honestly my favorite part of that design was the fact that it has the mandibles. Like, it looks really cool. It looks like a bug. And head empty. No thoughts behind those eyes. Zero consciousness. It just hears orders and obeys. And that one does slices. Like, that's his whole ordeal. It just slice. Speed and efficiency. That's all it does. That's its whole gimmick. So they are based on fears. And on the topic of fear, we have the three main responses to fear, which are fight, flight, and freeze. Those are the main ones. I know there's more, but we're talking about those three. Mesprit represents the fight. When it stabs you, you become enraged and violent and fight, because that's a reaction to fear. And then with Scuttlewall, I'm using their names now? Cool. And with Scuttlewall, it decides whoever is an opponent, whoever it fears, and causes them to fear everything and run away, which is flee. That's the flee response. And Tearing Blade is the freeze response. You'll look into its eyes, similar to regular Uxie, and it takes away all consciousness, and you lose all mobility, all motor functions, which is what you need to react for the most part. If I remember correctly, other than instincts and stuff, you need motor functions to move. Also, if you're observant, did you like how I swapped the Azelf and Uxie eyes with, you know, Uxie normally has its eyes closed, but Tearing Blade has its eyes wide open. Azelf has its eyes wide open, and Scuttlewall tends to have his eyes closed all the time. Mesprit gets to keep the same eyes. It always has the domineering look, and so the glare just really works out with it. Now lastly, I will address the stats. Of course, you may be yelling once again, overpowered. I don't know, nor do I care. This is Epitaph's fault, but he did put in a measure of keeping them in check. Their unique ability, Primal Defiance. This would cause the Pokemon to occasionally disobey its orders, which would be, in fact, losing a turn, if anything. Okay, after looking over my notes, I think that's everything, and thank goodness gracious, because I'm tired. But before I go, I want to make sure that y'all get the bonus art. So transition to that.
Yeah, so I drew these before I did all the dex entry stuff, and so these were essentially what my references were. You can see how it's based on the Medusa, and then this one is based on a mantis, or, I mean, it's an insect, it doesn't really matter what kind, but you can kind of see their character in these, and of course, my favorite, the little Triceratops. Here's where you can get a good look at that head-on Triceratops face-looking thing. I love them.
And there we go. We're done. I'm so not sorry for how badly edited this one was. I'm tired. I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you for the patience for waiting until I posted this video. Again, I know I'm late, but there's no set schedule, so it doesn't matter what I say. But anyway, drop a like if you enjoyed what I did with the Lake Guardians, and give a lot of kudos to 𝒁🐁. These were like his idea. I again just came up with the lore and a lot of the drawing process, so the like would be for me as much as it is for him. Ahaha. But he said I could eat them, so. And of course, subscribe. I'm going to have more videos later down the road. If they're gonna be at a set schedule, I hope to be still doing 2 every month on a regular basis if I don't get sick again. So yes, come back to watch more art. And as always, in the description are links to my social media where you can find out what my future stuff is gonna be based on. I'm never online in general. Do what you will with that information. And of course, thank you to all the new subscribers because y'all are real. At least I think so. Prove your reality by dropping a comment saying that you're real. And if you're not real, I will hunt you down and unplug you because you're a bot and you don't belong in my chat. I don't have a live chat. Not yet. Yeah, I'm genuinely exhausted. So tired. But I recorded everything on the go, so good job me. Let's see. I almost died in a wreck with nobody. We had a little bit of a light rain, so the roads were slick. I was taking my brother to work, and I drifted for the first time ever. But nothing happened because I know how to drive. We didn't die, but we definitely drifted. And I'm alive. Bye.